Okay, guys. Probably no one in yet. Well, Pop Scrap is there. Hey, Pop Scrap, welcome in. Because Shark Scrapper is still running wild on his stream there, so we'll let him keep going. So a lot of people are over watching him. So while I'm waiting to see who comes in, um, oh, Shark Scrapper is gone from his stream. I was just checking to see if Shark Scrapper still live, but Shark Scrapper has gone from his stream. He didn't have to end his stream like that. Desert Scrapper, first man in after Pop Scrap was here before you, and there was earlier on today a guy called American's Favorite Hoarder. He was in earlier as well, so he was in before anyone else was in. So as always, guys, thanks for being in. Really appreciate it. As you're coming in, please do consider hitting the like. Electronic Scrapper, welcome in. E-Waste Mike, welcome in. Link is there if anyone wants to come up. You can fly straight into it. I know E-Waste Michael definitely want to talk about tonight's topic that we're discussing. Well, what I'm going to talk about anyhow, micro scrapping. Hey, Pooh's mate, good to see you. Yes, micro scrapping. Do you do it? Don't you do it? Pros and cons. E-Waste Mike is going to say there is no pro to it. I know well, but Ralph Morrick, welcome in as well. Urban Prospector, welcome in. Do you micro scrap, guys? Do you take everything down to its last component? How far do you micro scrap? Do you micro scrap at all? Do you only micro scrap like we'd say E-Waste Mike there when he had not much to do, so he went doing a little bit of micro scrapping, whether he likes to admit it or not. He was micro scrapping down his copper. So do you guys micro scrap it down further? Do you not? Hey, who do I see coming in there? JRA Cats, welcome in, or Junior A Cats, or whatever way you want to pronounce it. My Urban Prospector said micro is the only way to go. Well, I think so. But again, I'm a hobbyist scrapper. I don't do it for a living. So my time, I don't count. So like now, if I'm on here, and I'm with you guys, I'll bring you up in a minute to Basement Dweller. If I'm on here and I'm talking to you guys, I might decide to start pulling stuff off this. Cruiser Mac, welcome in. Raphael Scrapper, welcome in. So I might just decide to pull something off it and micro scrap it down a bit. So we pull it off if it doesn't want to break off. So as you can see there, that just decided to shatter into little bittings. But I'll get on to saying I want to bring up my Basement Dweller to answer a question I asked him in the chat, but I had to go. Why is the Christmas tree still up?
Basement Dweller.
Why is your Christmas tree still up?
Just to piss you off.
It's the 8th of January. That Christmas tree should be down by now.
We have started taking stuff down, but it doesn't happen overnight. So it's like, every day another tree comes down. We just haven't gotten into the office yet. So it'll be gone by next week, I promise.
So I'm just on about micro scrapping here, and Urban Prospector said the converters you all seen last week will all be micro scrapped down to the last item. So he scraps everything down to that. I know you don't scrap everything down to the last item, Shark, because again you're running it as a business, so you have to be selective on what you spend your time on. Where I can spend the next couple of minutes unraveling that bit of copper from this toroid, and it doesn't bother me. But where if you had to start doing that with all the stuff you pick up, you wouldn't probably make any money. It'll be costing you.
I am going to do an experiment though. I've been saving the toroids and some of the coils and stuff. What I want to do is, and I'll probably do it sometime this year, I want to get a cement mixer, and I want to throw them in a cement mixer with, I don't know, some big chunks of steel or something like that, and see if running them in the cement mixer will bash up the ferrite and the stuff that they're coiled on, and free up the copper faster than me trying to bash each one individually. I have no idea if it's going to work at all, but it should be fun to play around with.
Well, there's an interesting one. I don't know, is he messing with us or not? I micro scrap screws. Now, I microscrap, but screws would not be what I'd be microscrapping. When you say microscrap screws, how do you microscrap a screw?
Yeah, I mean, I take the screws out and I keep them, and then I
Yeah,
sell them
and
with my
shred.
small middle. But
Hey, grass cutter Palmer, welcome in.
hey,
Yeah,
Tim,
I like to microscrap everything out. I collect everything. Most things like we say this little board that come out of some stuff I got a while ago. I'll microscrap the chips off there. There's one chip, there's a few MLCCs, and there is a what else did I see there? Oh yeah, the copper from here. So from our little MOSFET. So I'll microscrap them out. I know a lot of scrappers won't. I see there's one in the basement who will be given out to me as soon as he comes up. How are you, Mike?
hey, Mike, love you too, buddy.
You know, again, microscrapping comes down to, I'm not going to tell anyone they should microscrap. I'm not going to tell anyone they shouldn't microscrap. It all comes down to what you have time to do and what you value your time at doing. My time when I'm on here, I might as well be microscrapping something than just sitting here. Mike, anything to say?
Cold.
Okay.
Only 30 degrees here.
Your speaker's down low. Let me
Can't
see.
hear you, bud.
That's good.
Well, man, it's cold in there. Yeah, go on, man. Crank up the heater.
Hey, Bobby, welcome in.
Add propane.
Oh,
So how far would you consider microscrapping something, Shark? And what's your decision on when you will microscrap something, or when you won't microscrap something?
So of course, a lot of it depends on your definition of microscrap. But you know, I go to major component level type stuff, and I may pull the occasional copper coil off of a board in order to, especially the ones that unspool real easy. So I might pull them off. If it's a low grade brown brittle board and it's got some ICs on it, or you know, a small motor on it or something, I'll pull that off because it's worth getting the extra money for it. Other than that, if I'm doing any microscrapping, it's because I'm doing a video and I'm just sharing what I'm finding, you know, in the thing or on the thing. But I don't, I really don't have the time to be plucking off tantalums and MLCCs and all the little copper bits and, you know, that kind of stuff. I tell you what, you want to see somebody microscrap? Watch Gill Skills. Oh my God, that guy will go after every tiny little nut and bolt and screw and brass widget, and I was just like, dude.
Well, again, that's what he wants to do. You see, Brian, welcome in. That's what he wants to do. Same as me. I'll go after. No, I won't go as deep as he will on some of the stuff. I won't get a mallet knocking out little brass little rings out of something. If it's going to take that length of time, I won't do it. But the likes of this board now, I'll take off all them copper toroids down here. They'll come off. I'll take off the this side, the copper over here. That'll come off. What else will I take off? Oh, the two boys just disappear when I'm doing this. My God, you heathens. What else will I take off? I'll take off the IC chips. I'll take off if there is relays on it, I'll take them off. I'll take off them little blue M&Ms, as I call them. I'll take them off. They'll all come off. So that's what I'll do with it. Mike is shaking it. Mike, when you had nothing for doing, you were microscrapping copper. So there you go. You can't give out anymore. You are a micro scrapper as well.
Copper's different.
Yeah, what's the difference?
It's worth more money than that little bullshit you did.
But that's copper I'm taking off. You see? That's copper.
See, like this bullshit here that's going in the shred pile? See that right there?
You're not going to throw that in the shred pile.
You want to bet? I don't save this shit. I do not save. I do not do anything with gold pins. Anything gold plated, I don't mess with.
It depends on the mood of the day. I do microscrap everything like Gil. Second day, I'm as Mike. Yeah, I suppose whatever I wouldn't microscrap on, if I take something apart, I'll scrap it as far as I can that day, and then after that, I'll just throw it in the shred. Irish with small boards. Have you ever used a hot? No, I always use the heat gun, or I always use a multi-tool to remove the small components from boards as well. But when I'm here at this, I'm not going to be turning on a heat gun, or I'm not going to be turning on a multi-tool rattling and banging. I'm just going to pull selective stuff off the boards here, and later then I may again use a multi-tool or a heat gun to remove the other bits and pieces from it. So like I'll even remove MLCCs. I know that will annoy some people, but I do. Scrap everything. I see Moose Scrapper done a video today as well, so Moose Scrapper is back doing videos. Something else that caught my eye. I know a bottle of Gerd holds about 12 pounds of screws. It's much more built in 12 pounds. Okay. Earl, did I see Earl come in? Earl, welcome in. Good to see you. I said hi to Bobby Holden as well. We have our friend Desert Scrapper there again, going scrapping something out while he's here. So, Desert Scrapper, welcome in. Good to see you, sir. He's working on looks like a laptop board. Well, a laptop. He's working on that. He's got a hard drive in there to take out any board, batteries, fairly low grade board, but it is what it is. Shark Scrapper, welcome back.
Yeah, hey, sorry about that. Somebody came to the door.
Oh, that's all right. So you don't pull off the MLCCs anymore, is that what you're saying?
Usually not, because I'm usually selling those boards to either board sort or to another buyer, and if I start pulling stuff off of the boards, then it degrades the value of the board. And go for it, Mike. Yeah, go for it, buddy.
Oh no, I don't go that far now. I don't knock out them out of the board or out of the plastic. I don't go as far as that. Ian Matthews will knock them out. I think Gil Skills knocks them out. Granny and the Bear Scrappers welcome in, but I wouldn't knock them out myself. So the Scrapper's scrapping out an all-in-one PC there. So that's what he is working on at the moment. So Shark, how did you feel after your second live?
That was fun. I'm having a lot of fun doing this.
Good.
So and you saw I figured out how to highlight the comments for people. So.
And I liked how you were able to put yourself down in a corner while you were demonstrating everything else. I like that bit of a feature you were doing. So when you made the item big on the screen, you were down the corner still. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, StreamYard is very easy. I mean, it's very intuitive, and the more you play with it, the more you learn from it. So.
Yeah, Solers does really scrap stuff down to knock out them little brass bits and stuff like that as well. Watchcall said, Urban Prospector said, I'm missing out by not getting them bittings out. I don't know. I can't get myself as that much of a micro scrapper that I spend time knocking out them little brass nuts in the plastic casings. I could spend hours just going after like MLCCs. I could pick up a board like this and I could look around the board for ages. Once I find the MLCCs, I'll just start knocking them out of it with a little chisel. So I could spend hours doing that, but I wouldn't spend 5 minutes trying to knock out them little brass bits. I would take off the crystal oscillators as well. I don't know why, because it's probably going to eat 10 times the amount of acid compared to the little bit of silver I'm going to get out of them. It'd be nice to see Moose a bit more often. Yeah, well again, I see Moose had a T-shirt on him. I wanted to say E-Cycle Maine. So I don't know, is that another recycler or was that his own? Does he go under that, or is that his company name or something, or is he working for a company called eCycle Main? I didn't know. That I was just seeing him, he's wearing that T-shirt. So maybe he's busy with real work as well. That he doesn't do scrap. I don't think he does his he's not like Shark or E-Waste Mike. He's not a full-time scrapper, so he's not.
Okay. Another broom.
Look at all the nice clear space.
Oh, very nice.
I spent all morning cleaning because this place was a disaster, and I got
It did look kind of crowded in there earlier today.
Oh, so Pooh's made us in. She thinks that's his company name. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't talked to Moose in a while.
Yeah, he's got a nice setup now in the shed he has done there. When I was watching the video, it looked well.
He had his garage all drywalled, and he did a nice job on it. Put a lot of money.
He's done a very nice job on it. So what are you micro scrapping there, Mike?
I ain't micro scrapping a damn thing. You play.
What do you taking apart, Mike?
Oh, I don't know, something with a bunch of nice gold pins in it that I'm gonna throw in the shred.
Oh, I like the gold pins.
I don't know. It's a box or something. Had to be an amplifier or something. I
Did
don't
it say
know.
Motorola on it, or what brand was it?
I don't know. Motorola.
Yeah.
Like what brand it is? No.
Well, some brands will have better quality stuff than other brands, so
Not
like
when you have to buy it all in a box. It don't matter what brand it is. You kind of stuck. Shark will tell you. You take what you get. And I'll tell you one thing. I'm really over this piece of freaking Velcro keeps grabbing my damn hoodie string. Look at my hood's all scrunched up now.
I like the picture that Dan from K&D Scrapping was it? I think it was Dan tagged you in, Mike.
Which one?
The one with the happy man's beard missing from his little accident with a grinder.
Oh yeah, it happens beard. Yeah. Yeah, Dan got jokes. I got a brand new grinder. The first thing I did was took the guard off of it. First thing.
What did you do to it?
You took the guard off it.
Grinder because my old grinder finally died, and the first thing I did was took the guard off.
Oh, okay.
I don't need that guard. Now I got two guards laying around.
For health and safety tips, Mike is not your man.
No.
Definitely not.
I'd rather
Where's
lose than eat e-waste dust.
Let's see. Where's that one T-shirt or that hoodie that you had that the grinder attacked?
Oh, that was my ain't nobody got time for that shirt. Right there. I have it hung on the wall.
That could be your belly.
Look at the top. Look who's on the top.
No, Grandpa Kevin. Grandpa Kevin.
Oh, Kevin.
Yeah. I got it hanging, and then I have my my propane heater right under that shirt. So that could be a fire at any time. Who knows?
Pooh's mate thinking about buying a chainsaw, so she said pray for her.
Well, it's been nice knowing you, Pooh's mate. I had when I was living in Memphis, Tennessee, we had a hurricane come up from the Gulf Coast and took out 5 trees in my yard. So the next day I was one of those yahoos at the Home Depot buying a chainsaw. And I tell you what, though, I had firewood for the next 5 years.
Yahoo booking did Dan just come in? He did. Oh, Dan, hey, welcome in. I was just mentioning you, Dan, about the picture that you tagged Mike in with the guy missing half his beard from his little incident with a grinder.
Maybe that's why I trimmed my beard, so I didn't have that problem.
Yeah. Oh my God, Poos, we're going to use that chainsaw instead of a hammer. I see. Ian Matthews has been busy with his new wire stripper that he got. He's done some modifications on it. Look pretty cool. So, Shark, did you get through many of them computers that you had piled up there in the last video?
Not a one.
He didn't do no computer.
Not a one. Nope.
You'd have to get Mike to come and give you a hand.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
I don't want to embarrass him. I have them all done in an hour.
Show him how it's really done. Show him how it's really done.
It's if I don't get interrupted, I can just blast right through them. But the challenge I run into is getting phone calls to schedule pickups or actually having to go do the pickups. Helping some folks figure out what they're scrapping or how to finish scrapping it out. Or talking to the arts that I'm buying from to negotiate pricing or those kind of things. So I keep getting interrupted.
Yeah, stick with that story.
See, I pull them out of the little relays as well. So you have your little dot of silver on there. So when you were talking about your silver and your gold earlier, that's the silver I collect. Now I do buy some silver, as I was saying already. I buy a bit of silver and a bit of gold on that app. But just as an investment, that's it. I don't really trade it. I just buy it. If I think the price is down, I'll buy it in the hope that it'll rise a bit again. I will drive 2 hours to help Sharky, even with all my computers I have to do. There you go.
I would never ask anyone to drive 22 hours. That's cruel and unusual punishment. In that case, Mike, he can drive 22 hours. I'm fine with that. But I would never ask anyone to drive.
I can fly there in 2 hours.
Nice little bit of silver there as well. Nice little lump of silver on the top of that contact. So I just take all them off.
It'll take you 2 hours just to get through TSA.
I know, right? I could have the bomb material shipped down there, I guess, instead of carrying it with me.
Yeah.
The chat there, microscrap. I'm not going to even comment on that one. Microscrap relays. So you take them relays apart for the silver. Anyone else in the chat do that? Hey, Toy Man's Bar and Grill. Welcome.
Hey, Toy Man. Great to see you, man.
Well, I don't think I'm I'm 5 foot tall and we're children's gloves.
Too many damn screws.
I haven't really processed silver yet. I just collect up these little contacts and stuff to process at some stage. That's the plan, anyhow. We have another basement dweller. Let me bring up another basement dweller. Cruiser Mac. Oh,
Cruiser!
Hey, Cruiser, why didn't you shut the door on your way into the basement? Christ above, you let another one in.
Hello.
What the hell, man? Is the sewage vent open?
Welcome in, guys. You take apart the relays, don't you, Ralph? Do you?
Yeah, to think about that, actually, yeah. I take relays off of boards and I store them in large containers. I now have a couple of thousand of them, I think. So at some point I'm gonna get myself one of those nutcrackers and just go sit there and go.
Yeah, well, that's what I do. Like right now, I'm taking I took a relay apart there, and you can see there's little silver contacts on them there. Well, it's got a nice little blob of silver.
I'm collecting those as well.
Yeah,
for Raphael.
I pull all them out. Then you also have, from a lot of them relays, you have your copper spool as well. So you get your copper as well. So just a matter of smashing that and cutting, even just cut down with a knife down through the middle and just let it flop out, and there you have it. There's your copper.
Well, you can do that too.
You know?
If you just cut the top off, you can just unwind it like that.
Yeah, you can just go like that. Yeah.
And then it stays in one big bundle, and you don't get like little bits of copper hair everywhere.
Yeah. So again, it's copper, so it's easy to get. I just take it. You know.
Speaking of easy to get copper,
are these ferrous or non-ferrous? These little bits on it, I wonder. Where is my magnet? Yeah, I'll have to leave it and check it later.
Where's
I
your
took
wire?
out a bunch of hard drives, so I'm now getting these copper bits on the back off, and sometimes they just break off easily. So
Yeah.
And sometimes there might be aluminium, not copper.
that is also true, but
Yeah.
that you can usually tell by the color.
Yeah,
And
If
sometimes
the color is copper, they just go in with my copper.
yeah, and if they look like a golden color, most times they're aluminium.
Yes.
Yeah.
True.
And then sometimes
And
when I'm breaking
the rest-
them off, I stab my hand with the pointy end in the other end, on the other side.
Oh, that hasn't happened yet.
Yeah.
That hurts because
Yes.
it's really pointy.
Yes. So, hello there, Mike. Where's Mike buggered off to? Hello there, David. Mac.
I love you, Rob.
Love you too, Mike.
Wasn't far. He was listening.
I love you from afar.
Well, I'm
So,
glad to
Bruce,
see
what
the romance is back.
Yeah, it's good. It's back. I was going to say, Cruiser. What's Cruiser working on down there? Oh yes,
Oh, this
of
isn't.
course. He's taking all his transformers apart.
The ubiquitous transformer coil.
Yeah.
Ubiquitous transformer coil.
Right.
Okay.
Ralph, I told you lock the door on your way in because you've
No,
left.
Another one.
I came in with Cruiser. I thought he.
You came
I thought
after
he.
Cruiser.
We came
Cruiser
in
was
with
first,
the
you were
right
next,
door.
and now look what you let in.
Oh
Oh,
my
God, oh, God.
God.
I love you, Ian.
Well, hello, gents.
Oh,
Hey,
volume
Ian,
down.
I like your modification you done on your wire stripper with the bolt, where you drill through the bolt for the wire to guide it.
Oh, the one with the 2.5 degree down angle.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's
I'll
very
try-
important.
I'll try getting that 2.5, but I don't think I'll get it as good as you got it.
All right, if you go straight through, it'll
I took-
still work.
Irish
I
ones
took
who
notes.
make money of-
Hello, Mike.
I was going to say, Ian, you could. I'd say someone could make a 3D printed one. You know how you were saying you could maybe get a threaded one and adjust it in and out.
Uh,
I bet someone could make a 3D printed one if anyone had a 3D printer, like.
So,
You know, anyone,
yeah.
anyone had a 3D printer, like.
Oh, right, okay. Right, him.
Hey,
I'm only at-
pay no
God,
attention to the 3D printer in the back.
I'll see if I can find the plate.
That's a normal printer you see there. This one. This one is a normal printer.
Electronic scrapper. I want
Jesus,
to see a
this is
video
annoying.
on that. Please.
This is a normal printer.
Okay, so that's what I did. Okay, you'll see I bevel the end. Can you see I bevel the end?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah.
All right, okay, so the problem is when a wire's going through it, right, that's no problem. I had a wire, and I think I must have, I don't know, done something, and it may have had to be a kink in it. When it got to the blade, it might have to splayed out, which the sheathing went like that. Then you can't pull it back.
Oh,
I had to cut it off and pull it out that way.
Yeah.
always a little bit that wrecks your.
So there's
something.
some fine tuning to be doing that, but it worked perfectly for me. I can't fault what it did.
Yeah. And
Hey, Ian,
how do you find it for very, very hairy wire? Did you try that hairy, fairy wire? How are you getting on with that in it?
Have you watched my 20-second video?
I did. I watched the one with the aluminium and all over. It looked like aluminium wire. So
Well, that was aluminium wire. That was nickel-coated copper wire.
oh, whatever. Yeah, but
Not really got down to airy fairy. I had a tiny piece here, which I was showing Guido about 10 minutes ago. which was probably the same thickness as your mouse cable. Well, if any of you have got a cable on your mouse, that is.
Yes. Yeah.
You know. And yeah, that worked. I had a nice suggestion from H.O. Motorsports, which was take the gearing mechanism out and put a little groove in the middle. So that
See what you let me do? I tried to pick up my mouse and I hit the back button on the side to show you that mice don't have to have tails anymore.
Mine does. It's actually quite short, I just noticed.
I hate this bloody back button. I'm going to change my mouse for a regular mouse. I'll keep it in the back button every time.
Why is it stuck? This is annoying. And this is why people don't like having wires. For gaming, a mouse with a wire is actually a lot easier, a lot better, because there's no input lag.
So anyway, yeah, so I'm fine-tuning it as I go along. A guy offered to make me a set of bolts, all in different sizes, going like from 2 mil, 3 mil, 4 mil, 5 mil.
Here a mill, there a mill.
So we'll do that. I'll replace that with a 10 mil tapped hole, so I can just screw them in as I need them. The problem is,
show us it again, Mr. Matthews. So, oh yeah, down to the central.
yeah, but I'm gonna replace that with just one plate with a 10 mil tapped hole in it, and then I can just screw the hole size I want into it as needed. Well, the problem is, I ain't got any wire left to strip. You know.
I seen that video that he's on about, which that I've highlighted there in the chat. He got the same wire strippers as what I got, and he had the same sort of issues I was having with the wire going up the side. But because that thing you done, Ian, kind of eliminates that problem, you know. So I was very pleased when I seen that might eliminate that problem.
Well, if there's no wiggle room, it can't wiggle to one side or to the other.
Right. Yeah. Now again, it's wire strippers. Electric wire strippers are brilliant if you're doing the same size of wire, because once you get it dialed in and you have it working, you just keep going. But if you're going from one type of wire to another type of wire and back again, you're adjusting constantly. You're whatever you're doing, you're having to change stuff constantly. So where you have your knife and you just go across the top of the thing, it doesn't matter what thickness the wire is, it just works it for you. So
Cruiser Max said, you know, to comment to me, you know, segregate your wire and do it in patches.
Yeah,
it makes sense, you know.
Yeah. You know, that's what you have to do. It takes a bit more organization on your wire side of things. You have to say, right, I'm going to leave that there. I haven't got enough of that to do yet. When I get enough of that, I'll run through all that type of wire. I'll dial in the wire stripper, get it set right, and then just once you have it set right, it just flies through the wire really quickly.
Yep.
You know.
Once you have it dialed in.
Yeah. You know.
Now,
so I see like Shark has got his wire strippers while he showed it in his video there, but he's going to do a video on it at some stage. So we'll see how he gets on with the more high-end wire stripper compared to our basic wire strippers.
Speaking of
I gotta tell you,
Chuck, they're advertising Easter eggs in the shops now. What are you doing with your Christmas tree still up?
I already asked him that.
yeah, we already had that discussion. It'll be gone by next week. We're slowly working our way through the decorations.
There's so much up, it's going to take a week to get them all down. Hey, Scrappy and Ordering, Tinkering Fun, welcome in.
I will tell you that I've been working with the new Stripmeister that I got, the E1000, and they've really thought through the issues of how you adjust for the different wires. They've made it, I think, as simple as you could make a relatively inexpensive wire stripper.
Mm-hmm.
I really like this new wire stripper.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Who was it? I think it's Raphael has the one with all the little holes in it, doesn't he? Isn't that the one he has?
Yeah.
I was thinking about buying that one at some stage, but again, just because I have loads of wire at the moment doesn't mean in a year's time I'm going to have loads of wire. So do I buy it? Do I go to that level or not?
Zoom me in
What's
for a
that
minute.
word?
there.
Bye.
Well, see, Ian, unlike your subscribers, your 12,000 subscribers who send you
13.
stuff for free all the time because you are the god. You are the god of scrappers, so you get
God
free.
in the shed.
I have to buy.
Same here.
Eric,
I'm
zoom me in
going to buy the same one Ian has and do the same modification.
What is Cruiser showing us?
Okay, so I had a look at mine. So if you'll notice, so this is the block that guides your wires, and Sharks will be the same as this. What they do, that block is extra thick, right? So it goes almost to the cutter.
Right.
Yes.
So,
Sorry, Cruiser Matt, can you hold that a bit closer to the screen, please?
Yeah.
Is it heavy? Let's keep this going.
No, it's not too bad. So there's a little bit of extra. Now, one thing too, what they have is there's a spring in here, right? So if you're going over those bumps of the wire, the spring helps keep the tension on that blade. So
Okay.
one thing I've thought about this one is actually putting a stronger spring in there, because then it'll keep the cutter in contact if you're going over some kinks in the wire. So that's another improvement to think of, Ian.
Yeah. But again, it all comes down to, do you have enough wire to make it worth the investment? Like, it has to come down to that at the end of the day. Like, just because I picked up a lot of wire lately doesn't mean I'm going to pick that wire up every couple of months. You know, that might be just a once-off, and I might never see something like that again for another 10 years. You know?
But you'll be ready.
Yeah,
But
I don't get a lot of wire. Like I say, I don't go around the streets. I don't go cutting cables off appliances. You know, I
Yes.
get some here and there. You know, occasionally that electrician gives me a bunch, which I left because it had a very hard sheathing on. It was very hard to strip with a knife. That could be something to do with the cold weather we've had. You know, I've had it on top of the fire to warm it up, which worked a lot. But yeah, the stripper did it. I've done it all now.
I done I know we weren't in at the beginning, Ian, but I done something that you warned people about before. You know the toroids that are like glass when you break them?
Oh,
I just done that, and I have little bits of shards of stuff that I keep putting my hand on. And it goes, "Ooh."
yeah, those
Oh,
are shocking.
Yeah, it looked like it was a regular toroid, and I grabbed it in the pliers, and when I hit it, it just shattered into bits all over the place. So I have to avoid the bits of glass now for the next.
I think somebody's asking me, what am I drinking? Well, I've had a YouTuber friend of mine come round today, and he brought me some home brew.
Ooh.
That's cider.
It looks very cloudy.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
Ian, are you
I think you may need
tasting
to
or
filter it.
chewing?
sorry.
I said, are you tasting or chewing?
Looks a bit thick, all right.
Struggling is the word. It doesn't taste too bad.
Here's what I was talking about earlier. Look at that.
Very-
That look, hey, Ralph.
It is very
Ralph.
yeasty.
Ralph.
Oh,
That one there is the one that looks like a goldy color. So I'm guessing it's aluminium that's under there.
Well, if you break it off, and you can feel it by the weight,
Yeah.
because it weighs practically nothing. The copper ones are way heavier. It stands out pretty much. Yeah.
Oh, actually, there's a bit of weight to it.
looks like in the chat, Scrapping Bill has got one of these squasherators, which are fine for solid core cable. You can do solid core cable no problem through a squasherator, but with braided cable, it just presses the plastic into the braid, making it a lot worse. So,
Yeah, but once it's squashed, it just pulls right off. I used to have one like that. They work pretty good.
yeah, for solid core cable, but not for braided cable.
No, for the stranded, they work the best on the stranded because they
Right,
squash
okay.
it.
You surprise me.
Yep.
Hello, Tim.
Hey, Keith,
Yeah.
how you doing?
So you're getting through your copper wire fairly quick, so Mr. Matthews, because of this new wire stripper, it has really helped you.
Oh,
I can do me back in here now. Oh, guys,
Wow.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, 30 kilogram that.
How many kgs?
30.
30. Oh, that's about, what, 65 pounds for the American guys.
A bit less. A bit
60,
less.
66.
Yeah. You know, so
And I've another one with about 10 kilogram in as well. So I've had fun with it. But
tell me this, Ian. I've been noticing you started off a couple of weeks ago saying that you're going to just scrap stuff out of the shed. You're going to make loads of room. You've decided you had a
Epiphany.
realization that things were getting too packed. What is it behind you?
you know I'm going to pull you out here, don't you?
yep.
Well, I've opened this cupboard. I've not been in for a long time. I've pulled out all those cables, computer cables. So they're going. Got nice walkway there. Yeah, I'm on with it. It's a bit.
So you are still sticking to your edge to get rid of stuff.
Yeah. I think also I've not been at work for 10 days really. 3 days last week, so there's been no scrap coming in. So I've managed to work on what I have. Hey, Ron's in from Toyman. Hello, Toyman.
He was in there, so he was.
Looking at these cables, I've had from when my computer building days, and I'm going to say some of those cables are going to be 20 years old. I just don't need them anymore, do I? You know.
No one needs them anymore.
No. I don't build
Hey,
computers.
Canadian Scrapper, welcome in.
I have a Canadian scrapper.
I'm trying to find something interesting, but nah, it's going. It's all going. There's even a PSP.
Look at Mike showing the gold to us there.
You have a PSP over there? What?
And he was showing gold. And
Oh, I've several here, Ralph.
Oh, really?
One
Mine
which
is,
is one which is hacked. One which I hacked. And
mine is broken. I need another.
oh, I've got two which I don't use. Maybe by 2027, I'll get it over to you.
I was assuming, yes.
I'm as bad. I was going to send Ralph a rake of stuff for his like extension.
Hey, hello, Evie.
And they're all still sitting in a box. I'm looking over at them there. Still sitting in a box, ready to be posted, but haven't posted.
And I still have a whole pile of my stickers to send out.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
So I think we're all as bad as each other for sending stuff out.
Yes.
The only person in this panel, I think, that really does send stuff out on time and gets it out to people is
Shark.
you know, he seems to be the only guy that seems to do it, get stuff out, but that's because he's efficient, you know.
Not really, because he starts work at 5 o'clock in the morning and he's done by 9. Then the rest of the day's his own, isn't it? Let's face it. He goes round because he's can't make a noise. Everybody's still in bed. No, wouldn't be doing that unless it was early morning. So you're at the scrapyard, and as soon as they open the gates, you throw the stuff off, and you go home and you go, "Whew, missus, that was a good day's work."
You know, Ian, it does crack me up sometimes. I'll be trying to be real quiet, and then the yard maintenance people will drive up and stop 2 houses down and start cranking up the lawnmowers and the blowers and the edgers and that's like, what the hell am I worried about for?
Ian, you look like you're drinking vinegar, so you do.
I won't be drinking anymore. I will be drinking just in case he's watching. Yeah, it's lovely. It goes down great. It's a cider to savor.
Yeah, save it for later.
You're like a child that's just been made to eat all his vegetables first. So,
I tell you though, I
does it taste?
understand
Is there
the
a fruity taste to it? Is there a fruity taste to it? Is it?
It's
or
more
is
on the vinegar taste.
Oh, okay.
Sounds delightful.
you know, I tell you, Ian, nothing. I mean, I used to brew my own beer, and nothing hurts worse than tasting your 5 gallons of brew and realizing it's total horse urine and having to dump it.
Or you give it away.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I would not do that to people. I made the only time that I ever gave away a beer that I didn't like, it was a wheat beer, a strawberry wheat beer, and it just, I didn't like the flavor, but the flavor profile is what it was supposed to taste like. And there were a lot of people that absolutely, just really loved it. I didn't like the flavor, but it wasn't.
To be honest, I'm just going to drink some straight gin.
There you go.
No,
Wash it out. Man. Wash it
There
out.
you go. Well, to get the palates cleaned again.
Yeah, there you go.
For sure.
Yeah. But so Ian, what else are you working on scrapping out at the moment? What are you working on there? Is there any big project ahead, or is it just dialing in just the wire stripping at the moment?
No, I've no wire left to strip. I've done it all.
That's good.
Even down to me coax. I've done everything.
Yeah, I seen the coax the stripper or something was the heading.
Oh, that surprised me. I didn't think it would, but it worked quite well.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're going to the yard on Friday? Yeah.
Next Friday, yes, I am. I've got a lot of aluminium to take in. Copper depends on the prices. I was talking to Guido earlier. He said in Germany it was €7 a kilogram, which sounds about 650, 670, something like that.
Yeah, is that
So
for number 2 or?
Prices are riding. And although I wasn't there for Shark Scrapper's first live stream, I did watch it. And it was very, very interesting how he brought the stocks and shares in and stock copper levels in the world. I found that very interesting. And I thought, well, of course, there must be people who's watching this, really, and weighing up whether to buy copper or not to buy copper. Well, yeah, that was interesting, Shark.
Thank you. I'm glad you liked it. Those are the kind of things that I mess around with all the time. So I'm having fun sharing it. And it's one of those things where I don't know that there's a lot of right answers. I mean, there's a lot of right answers, but not a lot of wrong answers in there. It's so much is dependent upon your personal situation. But at least making an informed decision is better than just, I hope I get a good price today.
Yeah, it's like you say, most street scrappers I know, whatever they pick up is going in. Whatever price they get, they work on things and roundabouts. Myself, I'll be a scrapper that can stay there, not eating anything for a year. Just getting in my way. But once price rises to a price I like, I'll take it in.
Yeah.
And we're spoiled, of course, aren't we? I mean, speaking about the UK, I would not weigh copper in unless it reached an all-time high of £4.50 a kilogram.
And now it's up over 6, and you're still saying, "Ooh, I don't know what I cash it in."
Yeah, so spoiled now. So now it's 6, and you think I'm not weighing it in. That £6 a couple of years ago, and I took the wiring out the house. And it was like. So now we're spoiled a little now. It's like, oh, I'll just see if it goes up that 650. I mean, I've had £7 a kilogram. I missed out it once. It were about £7.10. I wasn't ready then. But,
yeah, well, see, it's the talk of them saying that it could hit 12,000 a ton later this year. That has me thinking, do I keep holding and not do will it hit £8? Will it hit 9? And you're thinking if you cash it in at 6 or 7, whatever it is now, 7, you're thinking, I'm missing out on that 2 extra quid a kg, you know?
When you've
And-
only got 30k green, you're just missing out on 60 quid. I know what you mean.
Yeah, but if you build it up over the year and you think it could be 6,000 quid you're missing out on if you get enough of it.
All right. Well, I knew a guy who buried several tons of granulated copper, which was a taxed fiddle, and he didn't want any. But he bought this granulated copper, so he wouldn't have. He had something to do with his money, and he had a burn, so he dug a big hole and put it in, and then covered it up. And a few years later, he dug it up, and it was all green powder. So he lost. You know, he thought he was being clever, but he wasn't.
I guess he could have melted his dirt.
Well, he could have used acid to. I always have to go to the acid, of course. He could have used acid to dissolve the copper in the dirt. It would have left the dirt there, and then he could have dropped the copper back out again using iron, and then he could have dropped the iron back out again using aluminium, and then he could have dropped the aluminium out again using something else. So he could have gone through a process and got it all back if he wanted to. But it might have been a lot of acid involved.
It was several tons of granite.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of acid involved.
Yeah,
It
Ian,
will probably cost more than it would. Yeah.
I don't know. Hydrochloric acid is cheap enough. Like hydrochloric acid isn't the dearest acid on the market because it's in a lot of, it's in brick cleaner, it's in.
I like how Mike concentrates when he's using a screwdriver. He can't talk and screw at the same time.
No, because shit.
How he said that, I can't.
Oh, look at he cut himself with it.
Yeah, you get a hole in your thumb when you can't. I did that with this stuff.
Hey, Ian, did you see that suggestion from Electronic Scrapper? He figures you should put your shed on wheels.
Ooh.
I don't know what value of stuff you have in that shed, Ian. Say if you cashed everything in, there's a lot of money of stuff there. Not just for scrap, but as in other stuff. If you just sold everything off in that shed, I'd say you're sitting on a nice little nest egg.
$5,000 probably.
I'd say more.
Not really. Most of it is. Well, yes. I mean, just take a look at this, for example. It's priceless. You know, I mean, absolutely priceless.
Speaking of which, when are you going to start the robot?
Well, I've already.
Welcome in, Crypto.
I've already started. I've got one leg. Well, I've actually got 2 legs, so there's one leg. Right. Boom. Boom. So I've got 2 of
How
them.
big's this thing going to be?
Ginormous.
It's like Ed 209 from RoboCop.
It looks like R2-D2's leg.
I think I've shown you its head, haven't I?
I don't
Have I
remember.
shown you its head in the past? All right, well, this is its head. Oh. You all know what one of them is. It's a fridge pot, isn't it?
Yeah.
Leaking oil all over the.
Yeah, put oil all over it.
Right. So, but look at that.
Oh yes, look at the eyes and the
Oh yeah,
nose.
yeah.
Yeah. So that's its head.
Yes.
Okay.
I've got oil all over the place again.
His brain is leaking.
So yeah, it's coming. I've just got bits in between to do.
So you're going to take the top off of that one?
What I'm going to do is, so you know, it's vertical like that. I'm not going to take the top off. I'm going to take the bottom quadrant off. So you've got like a skull, head, and a face.
A bit like the robot's head in iRobot.
Yes. And then I'm going to stuff electronic gubbins in between.
And
Up
put
in the
some
middle.
lights on it, wired up, and then you can switch on his lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got like a few gold chips knocking around here. And
Aye. Less of
gold
Are you
mem-
Now, are you going to have some LED lights that are with a battery pack so that it lights up inside of there?
Oh, possibly. I think there'll be some old Christmas tree lights knocking round now soon.
Yeah. This should be very cool. Now, is this going to happen this year?
Sure.
It's the disclosure. If that's the right word, the disclosure date is the February the 14th, Valentine's Day. So
Okay.
I better pull my finger in between. I might just stick a fire extinguisher in between. So 2 things, fire extinguisher, thing on top. Job done.
Who'smith wants to know, is it going to be adult human size?
And is it going to be female?
You can bring it on a romantic Valentine's date.
You mean you want boobies on it?
Oh, look here.
Well,
These two are definitely aluminium. They're all silver
yes.
colored.
They didn't even bother trying to color them in.
No.
But Tripto has to remember that he's not going to really start working on it until the 12th of February. So, that there's an issue there with how much can get done with the last.
He's going to start on February 14th, somewhere around noon, probably.
I was trying to give him a little bit of the doubt.
You're quite right, knowing that we're going live about 8 p.m. Yes.
And have you noticed that whatever
It starts at 6.
Whatever Matthew shows us in lives that he's going doing, that's nothing he ever uses. He just puts us off on that trail, thinking this, and then it turns out to be totally different than what he's described in all the lives.
No, not in this instance. That's right, because so you're sure. Wait, I showed you that this time.
Oh, geez.
That's going to be the, like, and then I'm going to wrap big chain round it. Oh. Okay. I was having Cruiser Mac on about lifting this heavy stuff up.
Yeah.
It's going to be kind of like that, you know what I mean? Agree with me, I'm not lifting it up forever.
Yes, Ian, you're
Hold
correct.
it closer. I can't see it.
Jesus, that's loud.
What is Mike got?
Oh, it's an old hard drive.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
Wow, yeah.
What? Okay.
And then I found one of them. I found one of them earlier, like a little gas strut. I had 2. Probably figure that, on something.
Antennas.
No, it's a gas
Arm
strut.
actuators.
Attach it to the who's it called? Going to the what's it called?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ian, that thing you were holding up a minute ago, hold that back up again, because I needed to see if that chain was wrapping all the way around the bottom or just the top.
Watch the video.
Watch the replay.
Watch the replay. A snapping hard thinker. I think some people just like to sit back and listen to us fools talking, and seeing how stupid humanity has turned into.
Oh, how stupid Ian's getting up to in his shed.
It's de-evolution.
De-evolution, yeah.
Well, I will say that at least Ian hasn't gotten to the point where.
Oh, yes. Look what I've just found.
All right.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yes. I see a neural network.
I
Yes.
see, yes, that could be the brain network of it.
I'm going to stick that inside its cranial cavity.
Yes.
That's the neural network.
Yep. Now, Ian, you have to promise us that you're not going to be, when you're holding this thing up on February 14th, that you're not going to be
holding it up.
but that you're not going to be burning your hands on hot welding because you've waited that long to get it done.
No, I intend starting next weekend.
Okay. All right.
I've got the head. I've got the transportation mechanism. I'll have an axle, stick something up, and just needs a body in between. Now I have here a cup of soup. What's it inside the cup of soup is, I don't know, punch outs from the punch outs machine at work.
Oh, interesting.
Right, so the idea, some are quite big, but no, I've got some which are like 10 milli thick, Okay, and 10 milli round, 10 milli thick. I'm thinking of making those. Oh, it's dropped in the cider. What a shame! I'll have to throw that away.
You won't be able to drink that cider now. That's terrible.
Oh, another one went in. That's terrible. So I'm thinking of like using those as rivets. Like get a piece of plate, drill a hole, and puddle weld it from behind. So that's the thought.
Is the cider eating up the punch out that you just dropped in there?
There are bubbles. I'll try it with some gold. Try some gold in.
I might be buying it all off him if it dissolves gold. I'm saying that cider. I'm interested in buying it.
Ian, do you have a TIG welder?
Maybe.
Yeah.
There. That's like what you always say, Ian, when people say to you, Ian, you have a welder. You might just.
Can you just?
Can you just?
When did my firm close down? It was about 2 years ago. So about 2 years ago, I acquired a TIG welder. Which I'll be quite honest, I haven't even switched on. I don't even know if it works.
You're something else, you are.
Well, where's the other one that you use?
That's in the workshop.
Oh.
Like Ian has to have two of everything. 2 welders, two this, 2 that, 2 that. It's like Noah's Ark in Ian's shed, 2 of everything.
2 by 2.
You don't have a welder up in the attic, do you? With the water tank?
No. I do have 2 stick welders in parts. I've got one MIG machine there, and then I've got a baby MIG machine under a cupboard that runs 0.6 wire, which, to be honest, that's not been switched on for 5 years. So
I see you shifted to water. You need to hydrate.
that's straight gin. I need that to
neutralize the cider.
Yeah, I might try the IPA he gave me next week.
I used to love gin martinis, so I'd pour a little bit of vermouth in the martini glass, swirl it around, dump it out, and then pour in the gin.
Why?
Well, it's not a true martini if there's no vermouth in it.
Yeah, but you could drink it. Once you've swirled it around, you could drink it. Then you could put your gin in your glass.
I suppose. Oh, you know what? That's actually a funny story, though. I was in a restaurant in Spain, and they didn't speak any English. And I asked for a martini. I said, martini. So they brought me a bottle of Martini Rossi vermouth and a glass of ice and set it on the table.
Drink up.
Like,
Actually,
well,
I like drinking Rossini straight. I think it's quite a fruity drink.
yeah, I just like, okay, I guess we're not going to get this one figured out. So I was just sipping on straight vermouth for dinner.
That's nice. I like it.
So, Ian, we were just talking about microscrapping earlier. I know you really do go further than anyone else on the microscrapping. Like, you take out the little brass nuts out of the plastic.
I do. It's all CD that. It's more of a challenge to me rather than doing it for scrapping. Rather than for doing it for financial gain, it's more of a challenge. That's in there and I'm getting it out.
But then I seen there was some copper stuff one day, and you said a transformer, or it wasn't even transformer, it was something like a small little transformer, really small, and you didn't bother breaking that down. I'm here like, why isn't he breaking them down?
Yeah. There's a tiny bit of one on this shoulder, one on the other shoulder.
Yeah.
saying like them tiny little transformers on circuit board saying, Ian, don't just weigh it in as a motor.
No, see, I'll break them down. I'll take them apart, but I wouldn't go trying to pull out the brass nuts out of a piece of plastic. I just leave them. So that's it. Just shows everyone is different what they do on their micro scrapping.
That's easy. You just put a plastic on your big metal block and hit it with an hammer and it shatters. It's not a lot of hard work to get it out. Oh, look at his little toe finger.
I might admit, at that point I was habit. My martinis were all about the gin. That hard drive is fairly old. I haven't come across many of them hard drives with the copper-coloured platters in them.
No, the copper-colored platters are like really old. That's like 80s stuff.
I think some of them had platinum in them.
Maybe early 90s, but not much.
80s. I remember the 80s.
I should do this crap too.
Your father an owl.
He looks like an owl.
I flew away.
I flew away.
It's amazing.
Yeah, look at what's called them as well. Look at him with the silver one.
Yeah, when you go from the old
He's got the C3PO.
so much.
Speaking of robots, here's bigger ones.
I also found some really old hard drives. It was a clay tablet that they had scribbled stuff in, and you had to take the clay tablet and read it like this. That's an old hard drive.
That's an old hard drive. But yeah, I liked your talk tonight about the platinum and where will platinum when every car goes electric, will platinum prices fall because platinum is mainly used in catalytic converters and stuff like that. You know, but a lot of people use platinum now in the wedding rings and stuff like that as well.
Electric is not going to happen.
I'm afraid it is, Ian. It's going to happen even quicker now.
No,
because
it's not.
Yes, it is.
It will happen. It'll be a little bit of a flash in the pan, a couple of years, and then they'll bring out hydrogen-powered cars, which they had before the electric cars anyway. But they want to milk everybody for the electric cars first. And
conspiracy theorist Ian Matthews in the shed is off.
In the UK, there is no way on earth they are going to be able to provide the infrastructure for electric vehicles.
But see, that's why I think copper prices are going to go through the roof, because they have to get this infrastructure in the next couple of years done, and they don't care what price copper is at the moment. These companies that are doing this, they're just getting them out there because the governments are telling them they need to have these charging plants, they need to have this these wind turbines generating electricity for them, because they don't want to be relying on oil and gas from countries such as Russia, so that they can't be held to ransom by these countries. So they need to have their own energy sources and not be relying on other countries. So what's the biggest way of doing that is by wind or solar or by wave power. And then
wave power. We're an island. Why have we not got wave power?
Well, that's the thing. Why have we not got wave? Is the technology not good enough yet, or what?
It's not cheap enough yet. It is good enough, but it is not. It doesn't produce electricity at a cheap enough rate.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to actually turn wave energy into electric energy. It can be done, but it's not cost effective yet.
Yeah, but again, this stuff that they're going to be making to do this wave things is going to use copper, because again, they don't want to have this thing out in the sea and using cheap Chinesium in it, because they don't want to be going out every couple of weeks because it's burned out the motor. Because the Chinese couldn't handle it.
There's not going to be enough lithium in the world.
But Ian, I need to go back to something. They're not going to
keep using lithium.
You said that there wouldn't be a sufficient infrastructure to charge all the cars. Well, come on, you were around back when the internal combustion engine started making its entry into the world. Remember how many people that said, How are they going to build petrol stations all over the place to fill these cars up? It'll never happen.
Yeah, and the buck was on his horse saying, "My horse doesn't need to be going to a station to fuel him."
Exactly.
Take this knife
Hey,
out
and
my back.
if Norway can do it, over the last year, 80% of all cars sold in Norway were electric.
There's a slight difference, right? Okay, we had an issue over Christmas. It was all over the news. People queuing for 6 hours to charge the cars up, right?
Yeah.
Because there's insufficient charging points. That led on to something else that Tesla had installed 49,000 charging points across the UK, right? That's Tesla, a private company. The UK PLC Limited had only installed something like 3,800, and they're saying, why can a private company do that and the government can't? And yet the government are asking everybody to go over to electric. You know?
Yeah, but like every government in the world, they want private companies to take up the baton because they don't want to get tied in to being the ones that we say it's Tesla that has all these things. All of a sudden Tesla are saying, well, you have to pay so much for electricity. Where if the government are saying you have to pay so much for your electricity, the guy coming around looking for the vote the next election is saying, hold on a second, you are charging me so much for electricity, so you're in power and you're doing this and you should be able to set the price down. So they don't want to get involved in that stuff because at the end of the day, they want everyone to be relying on private companies, not be relying on them to supply you because they're thinking of their vote down the road. They don't want to be going to a door and having to listen to me saying, since you took over the electricity and putting in all these chargers and they're costing me so much, I'm not giving you my vote this year.
Listen,
you know, that's what they're
the truth is out there, right? Eventually, you'll fill your car by going to the tap in your house and pouring it in. Water is free. Well, free-ish. Can be free. But they don't want that, do they? They do not want that. Not that I'm a tin hat theorist, but, you know.
Hey, Raffle, how's it going, man?
Hello, James. Good to see you all. Yeah, I heard conspiracy theory, so I'm in.
It'll come. It'll come. They've had, you know, you look in the history, they've had electric cars in America 30 years ago. They worked very well. They discontinued it because they worked too well.
Got to go back.
That's what Scrapper said there. When
If I remember right,
they're
the
working
first
on these
cars,
sulfur iron batteries and they're
were
working
actually
on
electric,
all
right?
these other type of batteries. And when them batteries come available and they hold the charge for longer times, they don't take as much to charge them up, they're quick in charge times, then we won't be relying on lithium. We don't have to worry about this lithium shortage that we're on.
They actually,
Apparently
they already come.
Apparently now they're using
They come
sodium.
like diamond batteries and some kind of
They're using sea salt. They're using sodium batteries now.
Yeah.
Apparently they charge, and I say instantly. You know, whereas a lithium battery will take an hour. These things will take 10 minutes, but they're bigger.
But they also come out with some kind of radioactive battery, what lasts for I don't know,
nuclear
500
diamond,
years or
I think
something?
it's called, or they call it something.
I don't know. Anyway,
like
they plan to use it only on small devices like, you know, watches. I don't know, calculators.
Yeah, because the yield is
medical
not
stuff.
that big.
Cell phones.
Yeah.
See, where I understand, and Shark can shoot me down on this one, because Shark's in the US Navy, right? They have nuclear-powered submarines. They have nuclear-powered aircraft carriers. So they have nuclear power, which is as big as a house, to power something that big. So why can't they have them everywhere?
Power a whole block.
Those
Excuse
thingy
me,
about
we are
EU
looking for the
direction
nuclear vessels.
directive
Where are the
about the
nuclear
batteries in the
vessels?
cell phones.
What did you say, Raphael?
I ask you a question. Why
Yeah,
no
I
one
couldn't
listen to
hear
me?
you. I couldn't hear you.
Did you heard about new directive from the EU? Then all cell phones what gonna be sold on the market got to have accessible battery and replaceable.
Yes, I heard that, and
Oh.
they're all going to have the same charger as well. So
Yeah,
that,
true. But that's go
so
through already.
They
Yeah,
tried
yeah,
that
but
10
they-
years ago. Yeah.
yeah, no, but Apple were fighting it, and Apple had never changed to the new setup. So I think it's this year. It's coming into force. So it'll be interesting to see will they start finding Apple if they don't start doing it the same as
Yeah,
everyone
because
else.
they only
Yeah,
one.
leave it to
who
Apple to
doesn't
be
done
difficult.
that.
So
You want replaceable batteries because you buy a phone now and the battery's sealed up behind the unit. Like I have a phone there and I can't get the battery out. So when the
Yeah,
battery
that's
does
fine.
eventually die and stops charging and just stops holding the charge, I have to get rid of that phone. Where if it was a replaceable battery that I could pop out, I just buy a new battery, put it in, and I can still have my phone back to what it was. So I don't understand why that wasn't law long ago because they're on about being more efficient in environment and more efficient on the amount of resources we use in the world.
Yeah,
I think
that was
that's
the reason about the
Yeah.
waste. So
Yeah.
okay,
limited.
but here's the part that jacked me up. So I had no choice. I had to go out and get. Well, my iPhone 10 died, so I went and got a 14 Pro Max. What I didn't realize was the charger is now this little mini
Oh,
thing.
USB-C, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, really? All of the chargers I have are USB, and now I've got, so I had to get I had to get this charger with USB-C, so it's like that sucks.
Yeah.
But
Well, going forward, they're going to make all chargers here in Europe going to have to be every phone, every tablet, every sort
Everything.
of little device like that are all going to be USB-C chargers.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah, same here.
And as well, they
What
stopped
makes-
adding the charger into the, when you're buying phone, you're not gonna get charger together with it.
No.
You get only
So
wire.
if you buy a charger, that will charge your phone, your tablet, your every device in your house will be charged off that. So you don't need to have chargers all over the place.
Yeah.
But I used to be able to plug my phone right into my PC, but now I don't. Now I've got to get an adapter.
no,
Is that
no,
okay?
you
No, you can get one that can plug straight into your
Hey.
you can get a USB to USB-C.
see
Yeah,
this.
So I have to get
Actually,
an
these
adapter.
days, in the new buildings, you got a USB built-in into your wall socket.
No, see this USB.
Yes.
It's got loads of ends on it.
Yeah.
So
Yes, they're out there.
if you have had one of them, you wouldn't have had a problem, would you?
Well, that means I
And
have to
he
go get one
happens
of
to
those.
have
again.
20 of them in his shed.
That's USB ABC.
Yeah, exactly.
Also-
I'm lightning.
And again, eventually
Thunderbolt, you mean?
a lot of devices will have where you can just leave your phone on top of it anyhow to charge, so you don't even need the cord. You know?
Well, we've got one of those. My wife uses that for her earbuds.
Yeah. So eventually you won't need cords at all. You'll have one device in the house.
Induction, yeah.
You just sit your induction. You just sit your item on top of it, and it charges it up for you.
Or if you follow the comment that was made earlier, we're all just going to have little tiny nuclear reactors in our mobile phones.
You have little implants in your head, Bluetooth implants in your head, and you'll hear things.
You'll hear voices, will you? Be telling you to do stuff.
Yeah, but at least there'll be an excuse for hearing the voices.
It's like, break this up. No, don't keep it. No, break it up. No, keep it. Keep it. Keep it. I know which one wins.
So
in
nothing new for Ian there then.
that.
Yeah. But no, I think I sent you a link. Did you see that link I sent you earlier on email, Shark? No. I sent you a link to a video earlier. But if you get a chance, watch it. It's actually on a company that do recycling in America.
Okay.
And how they recycle all the items and e-waste and all that, and I think it's in Wisconsin or Tennessee maybe that they have
Okay.
this company, and it's amazing to watch that video how big recycling, and then they're on about they're talking to them and saying, like companies are saying, oh well, when you buy our phone you can recycle it, and that's why people are saying, why don't they make phones to last longer? and they're saying, well, everything is recyclable, so it's reusable. But the company that was talking, they were talking to saying the amount of toxins that is released when you're recycling these devices doesn't make it environmentally practical to recycle everything out of the phones and out
But
of
if
the
you think
devices,
it's true,
because-
Irish,
Hmm?
if you think it's true, there is no point to buying phone or making them lasting for, let's say, 10 or 15 years, because in 2 years it's going to come new technology, new things, and then your old phone.
Oh yeah,
gonna
what this company was saying, why don't they make it law that everything that goes into the phone has to be fully recyclable,
Because impossible.
and has to be done in an environmentally way that it doesn't release toxins. So they can't use beryllium or any of these sort of things in it, mercury. They can't use any of these toxins when doing the device. So it might increase the price of the phone in the first place because they're not using cheaper.
Oh, what happened there?
It popped.
I missed something.
I saw him look. Like,
Oh, I just saw the replay on the YouTube side.
have I still got all my digits? Is there any leaking from them?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he was looking to see was there any blood squirting up over the camera.
Well, unlike some other scrapper we could mention at the moment, he's like, oh, I've got a little hole, Luke, I've got a little hole in my thing now.
No, I think it was the other finger, Mike.
Yeah, it was the other finger,
I
Mike.
was lucky.
Hey, look at I just invented this. Look at
I just
it's a
invented this.
Pecker propeller. Thanks for the highlight, buddy.
If I knew you were going to do that, I wouldn't have highlighted you.
Oh, come on, Irish. You had to see
I
that one
presumed
coming.
you were going to show us something really interesting, but then you went and done that.
That was interesting.
What else we have? A hardcore tool in the.
That was in that hard drive.
Yeah, it is interesting that it was in that hard drive. What year was that hard drive made? Was there any date wrote on the case? No.
I don't know. I have to go look.
Crypto was saying her eyes.
Yeah, that's going to take a lot of therapy, Crypto.
Hey, we have another guy up here.
Hang on.
I
You
don't think
want
I've had this guy up before on the panel. So welcome to eCycle Nation.
Recycle Nation.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, people?
But
Hey, welcome
Crypto,
up,
if you want something to wash your eyeballs out, I got just this.
Hey, what's up, Peckerhead?
Hey, what you doing?
Calling you names.
I see that.
Hey, welcome up, sir, and Happy New Year to you.
Hey,
Ask
you
him
too, Irish.
about his sore finger.
Show us your sore finger.
Which one you want to see? So this guy right here on the bottom, eCycle Nation, the only guy on YouTube that I like. Other than Ralph.
What about Ralph?
Whoa,
What
whoa.
about Ralph?
Excuse me, eCycle Nation, are you on his wall, framed?
Yes.
I
I
should
actually
be.
have a license plate on my wall of eCycler that came from that man right there.
He,
All right,
he
okay.
says I'm on the wall. He never showed it.
But it's still not above Ian Matthews. Ian Matthews is still at the top. And I got that #1 coffee mug to go with it. So
Oh.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
you got the
you-
very
you
first
got
one,
the-
didn't you?
You got the #1 of this coffee cup range. Is that what
yep,
you're
I
saying?
got the #1.
Okay.
When I die, that's the guy that gets my inheritance. He gets the inheritance right there. It's already
Not if I die
already
first, though.
it's already in writing.
And what about if you have married Ralph at this stage? What happens then?
What?
Prenup.
I love Ralph. I love Ralph.
So
love
yeah,
you too, Mike.
I've seen so many people on here. I had to come and say hello. I'm actually getting ready to go watch the Cowboys play.
Well, you're more than welcome to come up anytime you want, sir, and share your knowledge in the e-cycling world.
I have to ask the question,
Uh-oh.
what do Cowboys play?
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
the American football, you clown.
American football.
No, I know Cowboys and Indians. You know what I mean? I'm old school. You know what I mean?
Oh, there you go.
I know
The
Cowboys and
Dallas
aliens.
Cowboys. It's still the Dallas Cowboys they're called, is it? Is it still the Dallas Cowboys? Or have they moved?
That was Cowgirls, maybe.
Well, that's what got me started on it in the first place.
I don't blame you.
My brother hung up a poster of the cheerleaders in 1975. I just never looked anywhere else.
We'll watch it.
Anyway, Jen,
Hey, armchair observer, welcome in, armchair observer. Good to
I
see
can't
you.
stay here until you listen to you lot gassing on and on and on all night. I've got to get me beauty sleep. So,
Hey, Ian, look at my boo boo. I got a boo boo.
You guys have a good one.
Hey, take it easy, E-Cycle.
Later.
Thank you.
Tell Joe I said hi.
I'll see you all later.
All right, buddy.
Take care, everyone. Ta-ra.
Later, Ian.
Ian,
Take
before
care.
you go, before you go. What?
You want me to lift that heavy thing up, don't you?
I was about to say, could you show us that thing with the chain on it again?
Yeah. Wait for
Ian,
the
take
yeah.
care. You're going.
At least you didn't say. At least you didn't say. Show me that big tub of copper again.
Well, that is nice. And if Everyday Solids was in, you'd have no choice but to show the tub of the copper again to her. So you're lucky she wasn't in.
Do you know what I would show? Jason? I would show her. I would show
Check her
her.
propeller.
Oh, I would show her that what she made me.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
Going.
What,
Yo,
has one of it?
You are all incorrigible.
Hold on, I'm going to make it bigger so you can disappear. Now you can go in, you see? I made it bigger for you to disappear. He's still down the basement, he still hasn't disappeared.
Hang on, there's a nut behind that.
That,
A big nut.
there's a
a big
boo-boo.
nut holding it.
There's a big.
I told her when I get broke, I'm going to melt this down and get all the copper bits and brass bits out of it so I can cash it in. But I can't do it because she autographed it right there. So
See, if I was living in America, I just wait for E-Waste Mike to put his bins out for collection, and I'll just pick up all the gold he's thrown into the shred and stuff.
you know what? I'm going to the scrapyard tomorrow, and there's a whole lot of gold-plated stuff in that truck.
Oh my!
Oi.
You can't do that.
Oh, you. Mine's not autographed.
See,
Hey, Ian, is it
See?
a past your bedtime? You know, I used to like you, but you're starting to get on my nerves.
See?
Mine isn't autographed.
You're not as important as Mike is.
That's right. See? If you look right, here, I'll show you where it's at. You know what? It's funny because it's on a nut.
Anyway, I've got something even better.
See that?
Hold on.
It's right there.
Hold on,
Look at
Mike,
this.
I think I might-
You ready, Cruiser Mac?
Hold on. I want you to see this autograph.
It's on there. It won't focus, but it's on there. See over here where it says the E?
Yeah. It's right there on the little nut.
Wait a minute. So Solar's
Here.
autographed your
Here.
nuts?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want my nut. So I'm one up on you.
I
Anyway,
got one on washers.
I've got something better. Look at this.
Hold on.
Yes.
Oh,
better.
look at that.
Look at that. And not only that, he used to use it when he was an apprentice.
Yeah. Back in the old days.
Wow.
76. You out bugger.
Hey, Cruiser, is that 1876?
No. The 70s
That was before I even existed.
You missed out, Ralph. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
Kevin was saying there to think it was an interesting live he did. It was a very interesting live that he did on the shears and all that sort of stuff.
Desert Scrapper's back. What did he miss? He
Well,
missed-
Desert Scrapper is here.
yeah,
see
but he
him
says in chat, he says he's back. What did he miss? You missed Mike twizzling his.
My
Pecker propeller.
Pecker propeller. I could have said. I could
I'm
have said.
waiting for you to make somebody else big, you know.
I could have said. Propeller,
I'm afraid to make him big at the moment because God knows what he's going to do. You see.
Nah, I'm good. I'm undoing my copper. I'm good.
There you go. Well, I'm off. Ta-ra, everyone.
Okay.
Hold on, Ian. I'll make someone big. So you can just-
Good
Yeah,
night,
Ian.
Ian.
Cheerio.
I'll make there we go.
Oh,
Desert Scrapper.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. What's Desert taking apart? He's taking apart some computer stuff.
Looks
Oh,
like
look.
a power
Ian is
board.
gone.
Oh, Ian's gone. Well,
You pulled an Ian Matthews.
He pulled an Ian Matthews. But yeah, I liked his little. I think it was it you, Raphael, and someone else that told Ian to do that with the nut to put the drill hole through it? Was it the bolt?
Yeah, Rafael put that in the comments.
Yeah.
And I think
I did.
Guido also did.
Yeah.
Guido, that was yeah.
You know what now?
It seems to be a good plan. I might have to do that on my one as well and see how it turns out. So, Raphael, you have the wire stripper with all the little holes in it.
Yeah.
How do you find that one?
I like it. It's good. It's much less adjusting as I looking as you using yours.
Yeah.
But still, it's only less adjusting. But anyway, you got to go through the outer shelling through one hole, put it aside, or there's no meaning to keep machine running and just strip it and then go through another hole. So I used to go for the outer shell, put aside, outer shell, put aside, and then after I shut down machine, then pull them off and got big pile of singles and then go again to the smaller hole. Just less adjusting. That's it.
Yeah.
But I do like it.
Yeah, it's always risky going in more than one hole at a time.
Yes.
I was going to say, Shark, what made you buy your one? But I don't know if I want an answer for that one. What made you go for that Stripmeister? Did you look at the reviews? Was it good reviews on it, or what reason was it?
Good reviews. I've been getting cable that's too big for the generic Amazon stripper, and so that had been accumulating. So I knew I was going to need something with more oomphy. Just looking around at the different things that were out there, trying to find something that was cost competitive, quality machine, and then in mid-December, Cruiser Mac said buy Canadian, and so there you go.
You can't go wrong.
Decided to help out my Canadian friends.
What's the weather like up there at the moment, Cruiser? Have you snow, or are you?
No, it's actually just above freezing. It's melting a little bit still. It's just setting us up for the next big snowstorm, though.
Setting you up for the next big fall.
Yeah. You can't get your hopes up.
I have to tell you, I really like the way they put those machines together. I mean, they really thought through a bunch of stuff about those machines. It's just there's a lot of quality there.
The one you got, 1,000 MCM, they're very unlikely you'll find any cable bigger than that. So should do you forever.
Yeah, if I find cable any bigger than that, I'm probably pulling it off of a naval vessel or something, right?
You're stealing it from somewhere. So any contact pick up lately, Shark, for the new year? Have you any new contact for this year, or are you still working off the same group?
I picked up two. Well, I've got two that I'm still trying to get worked out. So still getting to know each other and see if there's going to be a future there. So don't know how those are going to play out yet.
I like that Desert Scrapper is micro scrapping everything out of it. Getting it all, not messing about. Everything is being got. I like that his work area is nice and tidy, not like mine. I just have bits of everything thrown all over the area when I'm working. Yeah. I find lately I might start scrapping out, and halfway through I'll get bored and pick something else up and start scrapping that out instead of finishing what I was doing. If I, it's just what I've been doing.
It happens to me too.
I do have to say, watching Desert Scrapper, it's sort of, it's like, is this the Addams Family? And that's Thing scrapping stuff out.
Oh, just a hand.
Yeah.
Just a hand working away. I've noticed that on Stripmeisters, the drive is slightly rounded, where mine and Irish are just more. Yeah, they seem to have round to the base. I think Cruiser was showing on his earlier as well that the guide plate is a lot thicker, isn't it, Cruiser?
Yeah, like I said, the guide plate goes almost to the cutting wheels.
Yeah, so there's not much room for stuff to move around like there is on the Chinese generic strippers, you know.
Well, and that drive wheel is extremely well designed to grab the cable, and pull it through.
Yeah, well, as Kevin Sturgis was saying, it's more, it's more rounded at the thing, so it's not coming into that sharp V. It's kind of more shallow V. So the wire.
But the way they cut the grooves on the drive wheel, so it's not only a more shallow kind of V, but it's the way they cut those grooves. When the wire's coming in, the wheel actually can grab it and pull it through.
Okay.
And you can tell when you look at the insulation after you've stripped one out, you can see how it's grabbing that insulation to pull it through.
Urban Prospector Cruiser wants to know where you located at.
Western Canada, British Columbia.
There you go, British Columbia.
So here is something weird. You were talking about those little coils on the back of those hard drive readers. If they are yellow in color, that they are aluminium. But these are actually copper. You grind at the yellow bit, and then there's copper underneath. So they're
mine
not
is actually
aluminium.
copper as well. When I pulled it apart there, wherever I threw it, I was looking at it earlier, and it's actually copper as well.
Yeah.
When I think so, I thought it was going to be aluminium colored, but it was actually copper.
Yeah, I'm surprised. Good. I'm almost through all of them. I got a huge pile of copper here. Huge.
Well, again, it all adds up. You see, for us,
Indeed, it does.
It's all about quantity over time. So where the guy's doing a living, it's all about time efficiency when they're doing anything. So for me and anyone else that's doing this as a hobby, you're just working away, talking to people or watching TV or whatever you're doing. Spend an hour in the shed in the evening just stripping stuff out. I don't count that. I just throw it all in a bucket and separate it out or whatever. And then in 6 months' time, if I keep doing that every day, I have a couple of big buckets filled up, and it's just extra money if I cash it in. That's all it's about, you know. So it's different than the guys like that have to make a living from it, like Shark and E-Waste Mike. They can't spend an hour pissing about with a little bit of copper
because they ain't got time for that.
They ain't got time for that. You know, that's my take on it, anyhow.
Well, that's my argument too.
Yeah,
that's my defense.
That looked like it was a fairly heavy computer, E-Waste Mike.
It's a battery backup. It's 110 pounds.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I got it up here though.
Oh, this one is red.
I don't feel good now.
Yeah, I was going to say, did you take a jump on the way up?
He's feeling lightheaded now.
Yeah.
I peed, pooped, and I threw up my mouth a little bit.
Ralph, is that copper as well?
Yes. The red one is also copper.
Damn. That way. Wire down.
Come on. Break off.
I was going to see how many hard drives has Raphael got there. He's got 3 of them lined up to break down. Look at around. Just look at there now, Raphael's thing. See the buckets of copper? Is that like copper? He's down there along the side. See, Raphael keeps nice and quiet there. He doesn't tell us much about what he's doing, but he's got piles and piles of copper bills. He's cornering the market on copper. He'll be the copper king. He'll be the new copper king.
Keep it up. Keep it up. Keep driving those prices up.
Yeah, but I think copper's going to go a lot higher this year. It's still rising. Every time I check the price, it seems to be gone up slightly more. So it seems to be heading that upward trajectory at the moment, you know.
Got some nice golden pins here.
My goal this year is to get back into street scrapping more. I do miss the thrill of the hunt. Never knew. Yeah, street scrapping isn't a thing here in Ireland. It seems to be it's an American thing, an Australian thing, but I don't think
I do
street
it too during work.
Yeah,
Not a
but
lot,
I don't
though.
think street scrapping is a big thing in Europe. Anyway, I haven't seen any time I've ever been on holidays around Europe. I haven't seen guys going around looking through skips or picking skips or picking stuff off the side of the streets or anything like that. It
The
seems
only
to be
person
more-
that does that over here is me.
Yeah, it's not really a big deal here because you can just take that bulky stuff to the recycling places.
Yeah, you see, that's what it is over here as well in Ireland and Europe. There's a lot of the shops. When you buy a new TV, you leave back the old TV and it's sent to the recycling place. If you buy a new fridge, they take back the old fridge. So there's a lot of that being done. So you're not actually leaving stuff out of the side of the streets for anyone to collect.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But I remember street scrapping was the thing because it's something I'd like to do, but it's pointless around here because there's nothing left out. You're just wasting your fuel driving around here looking for anything.
Actually, here, if you check Facebook Marketplace, you'll have better luck on that.
Yeah,
Just pick up stuff for free from people.
Take away stuff, yeah.
And if you can find enough, you just kind of group your trips there so you don't spend a bunch of.
Do you use that, Shark? Do you use Marketplace to find stuff for free?
Sometimes, but I've got enough people that are calling me now for pickups that I really don't need to, go looking for the free stuff. It's starting to find me. It's taken a few years, but I'm getting to that point where it's finding me now.
And
It's even better.
if you weren't doing YouTube, would you have given up the street scrapping by now because of all that you have enough people giving you for you to pick up stuff, or would you still carry on street scrapping because that takes up a lot of time? I know you do it for YouTube for the videos as well, but if you weren't doing YouTube, would you be still doing street scrapping?
It's fun. It's what's out there today kind of thing. So there is a certain amount of personal entertainment involved in doing it. And it's also a case of, I started this business and I'm doing this to get stuff out of the waste stream and into a recycle stream. And I know that stuff that's sitting on the curb is going to go to a landfill somewhere. So there's a part of me that wants to do it just to keep it out of the landfill. Yeah, I'd probably keep doing it.
Because it must be tougher now to get to do everything you are doing because of now you have the live streams to make sure you're doing. You have your videos that you do for YouTube plus the ones you do for the membership. You have to do all your pickups. You have to do all your scrapping out, your sorting out, all that sort of stuff. So it must be getting tougher and tougher to keep on top of everything, and you're still just a one-man show at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely, on the move. I mean, there's a lot going on. So,
because if you think back 2-3 years ago when you started, or 4 years ago when you started, whatever length of time you started doing this scrapping and stuff, you just started off as a scrapper, then you went to the YouTube side, and then you went to further and further into the YouTube, I suppose. It's the amount of time that you have for doing other things has to have fallen away,
Well, yeah, and I mean, there was a time when a weekend would come around, and I'm like, damn, I don't have anything to scrap.
Yeah.
I'm getting to that point.
And so, so it's and I never have that problem now.
No, yeah. It's like, damn, there ain't enough days in the week for me to scrap. Tell me this, Raphael. When you were gone there, we made your screen bigger.
Yeah.
And behind you, there's a bucket. Is that bucket full of copper? It looks like copper stuff that's in it. Yes.
This one?
Yes.
Yeah, it is copper.
It is copper. Okay. And how many more buckets of that have you hidden around there?
In basement, just this one.
All right. Okay. I was saying you're being sneaky. You're not showing us all your copper you've hidden.
No, all my copper is upstairs.
Oh, so you are being sneaky. You're cornering the market on the copper.
It's in those big 90 liters boxes.
Oh, very good. So when are you planning on cashing in your copper? Are you planning on holding it or cashing it in?
I don't know. whenever I
Okay.
feel like.
Okay, no, I'm just saying you've no strategy for the year. Like I'm planning on not selling any copper until I see the prices maybe.
I was
hopefully
planning
get
to
over
cash it out
8
a
quid
long
kg.
time ago, but it's never happened. So
I think if it's over €8 kg, 8.50, I'll probably look at cashing it in. But I don't know.
I don't know. I have idea to replace it with silver.
Okay,
Sell
So,
copper and
yeah.
buy silver for that. So just be
It
like
takes up less space.
smaller amount.
yeah, that could be a good idea. I might do that. I might sell my copper and aluminium and that sort of stuff and replace it with gold.
Yeah, that's also could be.
I'm
Yeah.
going to replace it with a new PC.
Actually, I found some sets of silver bars and gold bars. You got like one little box with 1 gram bar, 100 of that bars. So I
Yeah.
think that would be cool to have something like that. And you can get either silver one or gold one.
What did Kuznick say?
I think you should all take 10% of it and put it away, and then cash in the rest.
Yeah, but it like to me now working. Cashing in the rest, I don't think I'll do that. I'll
Just need 10%. Just put 10% away.
but I don't see. I have my wages coming in every week, so I don't need to even cash in any of it.
I
You know,
said
or even save. Then I can afford just to save it all rather than just 10%.
Irish, listen to what Mike said and do it.
Yeah. Do it.
Yeah, why are
argue.
you arguing with Mike?
Yeah. You don't argue with the boss.
That's a good plan. 10%. I just came up with that.
That's brilliant, Mike. I'm going to start using that too.
What God said, Electronic Scrapper said, sell your gold and replace it with copper.
That's not the greatest plan.
There you go. Buy silver dimes. Urban Prospector wants to know, Desert, will you micro scrap that small power board all the way clean?
Ouch! I got another boo-boo.
Oh,
Oh, no.
All right. Because I'm sitting here trying to get this stupid copper shit off of that thing. Or brass, whatever the hell it is. Stupid, whatever it is.
So did you notice that Rafael almost lost a finger when that scrap blew up, and he didn't even flinch? Mike,
just look
it's a
around,
little
Mike.
boo-boo, and he's whining like a little.
Well, that's because I'm old and I don't heal as fast as you young guys.
Oh, hold on. Let me make it bigger. Look at that. Deadly war wound.
Oh my God!
Good, that wood
Well
chisel
done.
isn't sharp. I was thinking to sharp it yesterday, but good I didn't.
uh-oh. Something heavy going in the bin.
Oh, I know why this hard right hasn't worked.
Kevin Sturgis is asking a question there. If anyone can help him out. Oh, what's that?
Oh wow, what happened to that thing?
A little crack. I don't know.
Little
what happened
crack,
to this
somebody
thing.
drove a screw through it, I think.
Yeah, that explains why that's not working.
Let the smoke out.
What did Kevin say? I don't want to buy gold coins. They're expensive. Can I buy gold gold in bar form? And do you think you can buy gold in bar form from a company called Unicom? I think it's called. Let me have a look there. I think it's Unicom. It's called. Or Unicorn, is it? Unicom.
Remember, stockpile 10%.
So if you can also, if you look at AppMex and Kitco, you'll see that they have small sizes of gold and silver rounds and bars that you can look at. the problem with buying the really smaller sizes is that the premiums get worse. So, the smaller the size, especially with the gold bars, the higher the premium gets as a percentage of what you're actually buying. So,
I'm just on that website there. Well, I just put up the name of the thing. It's Unicorn Gold Bars, and their website. I'll put the link up in a second for the website. So we'd say a 1 gram of gold bar from that company at the moment, they want £62.91. So I think gold price in sterling at the moment is 50 something. So they're charging an extra £10 for the bar just because you want that their bar. So they're making an extra tenner on it. So it's 999.9 things. So I'll put a link in there. You can actually see the bars. Copy, and this is the link to their website. I know these crowd do sell the bars because I was looking into this company before, and as far as I can gather, if I was to send a lorry load of e-waste to them, they're based in Belgium, and if you were to sell a full lorry or an Arctic of e-waste, they will take a percentage of it and they'll refine it, and they'll give you back either the value in cash or into your bank account, or you can have it actual in physical gold. So I was looking into them before, but there was going to be a lot of hassle and stuff like that, so I didn't take it any further.
I buy mine from JM Bullion. Never had a problem yet. Some big ass batteries in here. I want to shoot something. No.
It's a good thing to have at least 2 places that you can play off of each other. So like JM Bullion, AppMax, KitGo, you go look at their prices, and if one of them is charging a little bit more, then you can buy from the other one. They're all 3 perfectly good companies. They do a great job. And, sometimes one's charging more than the other for something. So, it's good to be able to shop around a little bit for that kind of stuff.
And JM Bullion, like if I order something today, which is Sunday, it'll be here Tuesday. Yeah, they're quick on their deliveries.
Yeah, but I put a link to that company's website there, the actual company that Unicorn, and they have a big, massive plant there. I think it's in Belgium, and it's huge, and they do recycle e-waste from all over the world in there. They're actually a huge recycling company.
Now, the other thing you can do is, if you're scrapping Irish, you can, just buy a whole bunch of RAM.
I was waiting for that one.
See, I was leaving that alone. See what happened? See? I was leaving that one alone. But the guy has a point. Ain't nothing wrong with little RAM.
I was waiting for that one. I was waiting to see which one would be first to give me that dig. Sell your copper, weigh it in first, then take 25%. If you get everything for free, it's all profit. So, get everything for free, it's all profit.
Yep.
Crypto's going to have to go. Take it easy, Crypto. Thanks for being in as always. Appreciate it.
Take care, Crypto.
Oh, and Crypto, we're sorry about the counseling that you're going to need to have because of what Mike did. But
yeah,
and don't
damn
forget,
it, girl, you knew what you were getting into when you came up on this one.
bye, Crypto.
His pecker propeller.
She's used to it.
You'll be all right.
She'll be all right.
She's going to need counseling after that, therapeutic treatments and every sort of thing. You know. Do you still keep 10% of your copper, Shark? Yeah, is it our 20% or what are you keeping at the moment?
I do. I mean, I've actually kept a lot of copper behind when the prices were dropping off, because when I saw the copper prices dropping off, I knew they were going to rebound, and I had the space and I didn't need the cash, so I kept behind a lot of number 1 and number 2 and Bear Bright. But I'll probably start taking some in now and you know, and starting to sell some of it. But I almost always keep at least 10% behind.
So does Mike.
All you can hear is Mike grunting when he's lifting the batteries.
Shark taught me that move.
Now that's his 10% of the copper he's saving.
Remember, people, 10%. Save 10% of your copper. 10%.
I told you.
The Try Scrapper, where do you get your assets from? Do you buy them from stores, or do you deal with a company that deals direct with you, or do you have to buy them through a third party? Just be interesting to know. And I don't know what the regulations are like in America for buying nitric and stuff like that, and how expensive it is now.
What regulations?
You can buy it. It's expensive as hell, but you can buy it.
You know, because when I bought the vinegar, when I bought my vinegar from that company that I got it directly, I didn't go through any middleman. It was a lot cheaper than it was about a third of the price what it would be in the shops. If I could get it in the shops in the first place. So I couldn't believe the price the shops do put onto it compared to, like, I paid 37 litres. I think I paid at the time 100 and something. And I think 1 litre was selling in the shops at 1 litre was selling in the shops, I think, at 30 quid. And I bought 37 for 100 and something. So, like, I bought it for a third of what it should have been. Let me just check my emails and see what I paid for that time.
Last time I looked, it was $58 a liter, and it was $58 to ship it.
Yeah.
Because it's considered hazardous material. Ridiculous.
Oh yeah, here I found the order I done. So let me look at the email and see what I paid for it. So I bought 2 37-litre drums, which is 74 litres, for €245. The delivery charge on it was €70, and that 240 something is including delivery. So I paid for 70 something litres, €175, and at the time they wanted 30. I think it was €30 a litre in the shops. So it just shows you the amount of money that the thing. And the nitric acid was 69%. So it wasn't fuming nitric acid, but it wasn't like 30% nitric acid either. So I could water it down I could double its amount in water and still be usable, you know. I must see if I can still buy it off that company. I don't think I can because of Brexit. I think it was an English company, and because of Brexit, I don't think I can get it anymore. But I must check out now that I found the email again, if it's still possible to buy it. So I'm just going to jump onto their website and see what it says.
Alarm?
That's my work alarm going off, so I have to check the cameras at work now and see that everything is okay.
That's just a gang of kids rifling through the shop. No big deal.
Alarm. Let's see where it's gone on.
It's an unexpected clearance.
It's just a traveler.
Zone 90. Zone 90.
Just a faulty sensor. Right, where was I? On their website, can I? No, their website now does not have a retail anymore. I have to ring them up now. So obviously, because I'm in Ireland and they're in the UK, they don't deliver anymore. Not a pain.
More skeletons.
Select options. Yeah, contact us if you want to buy it. Okay, so they don't deal direct anymore with Ireland. Hey, Gibby, welcome in. Good to see you, sir. Right,
Hey, Irish,
it's nearly time for me to finish. Earl, good night. Thanks for being in. Before I finish, I'll go around the panel and ask them what they plan for the week. So, Shark Scrapper, what's your plan for the week?
Well, I hope that Monday is going to be the Stripmeister video.
Okay.
I'm putting some finishing touches on it, and I'm hoping I'll have it done in time for tomorrow. And then it's just a regular week of pickups and more scrapping. And this is a street scrapping week too, so maybe Thursday will be a street scrapping video.
Okay, cool. And you'll have your live, of course, next Sunday?
Absolutely, yes.
Cool.
2 p.m. Eastern Standard.
Yeah, I'll go to 7 p.m. GMT for all us on this side of the pond. So check them out, guys, if you weren't there already. I think most of the people that are in here were over at you. I don't think there's anyone in here that wasn't over at your live area, so most of them are already there. E-Waste Mike, what's your plan?
Scrapyard tomorrow. That's it.
Okay. Have you no pickups to do or anything like that?
I hope not. Oh, I do. I gotta go to a funeral home. I don't know what I'm picking up, but
Oh
Yeah.
my God, Mike.
from a funeral home. You pick up electronics? I said, and gold teeth. So yeah, I have no idea what that is, but I don't know what day I'm gonna schedule that for.
Okay.
Not sure what it is though.
Platinum prosthetics.
Might be.
Surgical steel.
Before you go, Shark, Urban Prospector has a question there for you.
Yeah, it's just
Oh,
I just sent him an answer. There wasn't any straight copper in that load. There were copper aluminum radiators, but I haven't taken in any copper yet. I might take some in this week though.
Save 10%.
I'm gonna, Mike.
Good job, buddy.
Job.
Ralph, what's your plan for the week?
I have a laptop to scrap. That's probably going to take me a week.
Oh, that's hard.
No, I actually have no plans. I did this weekend gather some stuff for a scrapyard run. So far, I'm at 8 full boxes, and my car can hold maybe 14. So I don't think I'll be getting there by the next weekend, unless I get a lot to pick up, which I doubt.
Okay. And are you picking
No
up
real
much
plans
scrap from-
whatsoever.
I was going to say, are you picking up much scrap from your job at the moment?
Well, I get the occasional dishwasher pump or a locking mechanism from a washing machine, but not that much. When I worked at Whirlpool, I replaced motors of all kinds of devices, like washing machines, and well, they seem to break down more often. But during this job, not so much.
That's no fun. No,
So
no
Beko is a better brand than Whirlpool, apparently. For
no freebies for Scrap and Ralph.
no.
Cruiser-
And no plans for videos or projects because the garage is where I do my casting and stuff, and the bigger scrapping stuff has now been used as a temporary storage for stuff. So
And
I can't really do much there.
Are you in the Make the Robot challenge?
No,
Okay. So
because
no
I
robot.
couldn't come up with anything to make. I might still, you never know. 14 February is still a bit away. It's about a month away, so.
It's Valentine's Day though, Ralph. You'll be busy.
Yeah, true. It's not like I have anything to do on that day.
Well, you could go find someone.
Yeah,
Hey, Cruiser,
I've
what's
been
the
trying
plan
that for about 4 years. Well, yeah, almost 4 years now. So.
I get closer every day.
Cruiser, what's the plan for your week?
Well, other than working all week, I got I think 9 of those computers left, so I'm gonna get rid of those things. And,
Okay.
got a
And have
couple
you
of,
any video coming
yeah,
out?
I got one in my camera there. Just got to download it tonight there. And
Okay,
that's about
fair
it.
enough. Desert Scrapper, I don't know, are you going to talk or not? So, no. Okay, I'll move on from Desert Scrapper. Raphael, what's your plan for the week?
I don't know. Probably shoot up some short video and stream on Saturday.
Okay.
Maybe some shorty at Thursday. That's it, like usual.
Okay. fair
Going
enough.
back to work, unfortunately.
Oh, are you not back to work yet?
No, tomorrow
Oh, my
first.
God. You have great time for it.
I sleep over 2 weeks.
Oh my God. I'd be
Hey,
back to work.
Rafael, tell him you can't go to work because you cut your hand.
Yeah.
That's the idea. On it.
Well, my plan for the week is I'll have a video out on Thursday and I should be live again next Sunday. So until then, guys, take care. Look after yourself. Keep on scrapping. And Scrap it, Ralph. Please finish the show.
Scrap you all later.
Bye bye, guys. Thanks for being in as always. I appreciate it. And see you all hopefully on the other side. Bye.